Hey guys, welcome back to Treadmill Review Guru. I'm Sydney and today I'm checking out the NordicTrack S22i Studio Bike. This is the new model for 2022 and it has some really nice upgrades, yet it still has a lot of the same features and build quality from the previous model that we really love. It's enabled with iFit, which comes free for the first 30 days, and it has this nice large 22-inch touchscreen. The bike pivots up and down to simulate the experience of riding outdoor hills when you go up and downhill. So it's really interactive and fun to ride. So let's dive in and take a closer look at all of the details. When we first got the NordicTrack S22i, this new 2022 model, we pulled from other bikes that we have on hand in our studio so we can compare it directly. And we compared it to the previous 2021 model, so that way we can see the new upgrades and how they compare, if they've maintained it, if they've made some changes to it. We also compared it to the NordicTrack S27i. It has just that larger touchscreen. And we compared it to the Peloton Bike Plus and also the Bowflex VeloCore bike, which is the bike that leans from side to side. So that way we can see how the S22i compares to all of those other bikes that are pretty popular on the market and be able to bring you this full comprehensive review. So let's dive in and check out the full construction of the S22i. So it feels really hardy to ride, and I think that has to do with the fact that it weighs 205 pounds. It's steel and welded, has these welded stabilizers that keep the bike just feeling really secure to the ground, and you won't experience any rocking. And even though it does weigh 205 pounds, you can move it around if you need to. You can lift up the back end of the stabilizer, and then there's two wheels on the front so you can wheel it where you need to go. The overall footprint is 61 inches long, 22 inches wide, and 58 inches high. And this is how it's going to stay. It doesn't fold up. So it has that pretty compact footprint, especially compared to like a treadmill. And it can accommodate up to 350 pounds. And that's typically a larger weight capacity that we see on exercise bikes. So we really like that on this bike, and I think it definitely adds to the overall build. It also has a 32-pound flywheel. So the flywheel is inertia enhanced. And since it weighs 32 pounds, you get that smooth, fluid stroke when you're going, when you're pedaling, and that flywheel doesn't feel uneven at all. It just keeps that really smooth, quiet experience. It's practically silent because it uses magnetic resistance. So just know that we really recommend this for all sorts of spaces just because it really makes minimal noise. And that has to do with that silent magnetic resistance. It has 24 levels of resistance to choose from, so you get some variability as you're going. It is really easy to adjust. You adjust it on the handlebars, and then it has this brake here to stop that flywheel when you're going. Just know that this isn't your typical resistance knob, it's just a brake. But it's nice and flat, and it's just really easy to push down, so if that flywheel gets going and you're in those sprints and you need to stop really quickly, you have this option with that there. And what makes bikes from NordicTrack pretty unique. They're pretty much the only ones that we've tested that have this motor in the back. So this is a DC motor. And this is what allows the bike to incline up to 20% and decline to that negative 10% grade. So as you're going, it literally pivots the frame of the bike up and down. And this simulates the experience of riding outside. So when you're going up a hill on a bike, like you're on a pedal bike outside, this will feel like it because the frame will rise up and then it will dip down when you decline. I just really like that it inclines and declines. I feel like it just makes for a really fun riding experience. It's not quite your typical spin bike that'll just stay, you adjust the resistance, usually with a knob. This one just feels just a little bit more fun, just a little bit more realistic to riding outside. The seat's new. It's an update for this 2022 model, but We found that it has a little bit more contouring from the previous ones. You have a little bit more support for your tailbone, but it still feels pretty stiff. You can definitely get used to it. We just noticed compared to other bikes that this one's still just a little bit more uncomfortable. It has a little bit more padding. It's just still pretty stiff. You can also swap it out for another seat. So if you find that it's uncomfortable like we did, you can swap it out for maybe one that has more forgiving cushioning. And this bike is also nice and really adjustable, so it should accommodate most users. The handlebars move up and down, and then the seat will move up and down and also can shift forward and back. I measured the seat when the seat is all the way forward for the reach and all the way back, and it ranges from 15 inches all the way forward and 18 inches when it's all the way back, so you have that nice bit of range to be able to get a nice bike fit, so that way if you're shorter like me, you have enough space since the handlebars don't move back to make sure that you're not reaching forward too much. I'm about 5'1" on a good day, and it fits me really well. This is actually, it's adjusted for me right now. I have the seat all the way forward, and then I'm on level 22, so I am on the second lowest point of adjustability on the post here. So someone shorter than me, probably below 5 foot, could definitely use this bike and still be able to reach the pedals and get a nice bike fit. And then also our tallest reviewer is 6'5", and he's able to adjust the seat all the way up to accommodate him as well. So we really feel like pretty much users of a wide range of sizes are going to be able to find that nice bike fit. Moving on to the drivetrain, we really like that there are now hybrid pedals on the 2022 model. So before it just had the toe cages, and it still has those, but then when you flip it over, it has SVD cleats. Riders outdoors typically have these to clip in, so you can get that clip-in experience with your SVD cleats, or you can just use regular athletic shoes. I really appreciate this new addition. Clipping in is super easy, and then with the toe cages, I definitely have enough depth within that cage to be able to get it underneath the ball of my foot, so I'm nice and comfortable. And NordicTrack comes with a nice warranty. It has a 10-year warranty for the frame, a 2-year warranty for parts, and a 1-year warranty for labor. So now let's dive in and check out the console on the S22i. So it has this nice large 22-inch touchscreen, and it has a lot of adjustability. It can tilt up and down, and then it also can swivel side to side up to 360 degrees. So you can use it to get that perfect angle for you when you're on the bike, and then also when you're training off the bike, you can adjust it to be able to see the screen really well. Since iFit offers so many different types of classes, you can then get so much more out of the screen with this option to be able to use it for like strength classes, yoga classes, meditation, and then also all those bike classes that they offer. When you're training, you can also use these 3-pound weights. So if you want to get a little bit more upper body, since on the bike it's going to be primarily working your lower body and your core, you have these 3-pound weights that it comes with. And also they have this tray integrated here, so I can place my phone down and be able to have it there if I need it for answering calls, text messages, whatever. So let's dive in and check out the screen. So this is iFit. You go in once you have that membership. So this is with that full membership. iFit has over 16,000 classes. They are adding to the library pretty much constantly, so you pretty much get an unlimited amount of classes to choose from. And with iFit, they have those indoor studio classes. So if you've taken a spin class in person, they have that similar feel. They're filmed like this. They're filmed in a studio. The light quality is really nice and the production quality is really nice. Kind of in the perimeter of the screen, you'll see other riders that are riding in person. So it kind of gives you that spin class, that studio class feel. And then I really like iFit's outdoor classes. So they're filmed literally on every continent. And when you're on the bike, you can ride anywhere from Iceland to Hawaii. There's all sorts of range, and when you're on them, I'm gonna pull up one of those in a minute so you can see the graphics are super clear, and it just really makes for a really fun training experience, so you get to explore all these places just from the comfort of your own home on this large screen. But if trainer-led classes aren't your thing, you can also go in to this create section on this little navigation bar down here, and you can be able to literally draw your own route anywhere in the world. They use Google Maps, so I can go in and I can go and go up different streets right along the beach, right along the ocean here. So that's fun if you just want to be able to kind of do your own thing but still see something nice and visual on the screen. And then it also has the manual mode, so you can go in and be able to do your own thing as well. You can go for as long as you want, and then with that you get full control of the resistance and the grade, so the incline and decline when you're going. So as you go into the browse section, you can filter through and find a specific class for you. So you can go in and use these filters. There's also this search bar, so you can literally just go in and type in a keyword that you're in a class that you're trying to find. And then with the filters, you can go in and filter through to pick out a specific class. So let's do that. Let's go into workout type. And then here they have, like, you can go in and do a bike race, you can do a recovery ride, you can ride on a road, on a mountain. So let's do mountain, and it'll filter what classes pop up for that. You can change your resistance on the screen as well. As I mentioned, you can change them on the handlebars, but you can go through and you can change it all through here, and then you can change the resistance up and down here as well. The resistance changes by 1, and then the incline and decline will change by 0.5%, so you can use the screen to be able to get to a specific level. You'll also, whether you change it in the screen or on the handles, you'll be able to see your resistance right up here. So here are your metrics, and even as you go through in the class, you'll be able to see all of this. As you go, you'll see you can change between your time remaining, you can change between seeing your distance, how much time you've gone. And then iFit also has a leaderboard, which is popular with Peloton, where you can compete with other members. You also get this with iFit. You can go through and see your ranking. You can also filter through if you want to do it by your age to kind of filter it a little bit more. The leaderboard, I feel like some people love it, some people hate it. So you can keep it up here if you love it, if you like that motivation. If it's a bit intimidating, I know I'm intimidated by it sometimes, you can simply swipe it away and just be able to see just the class as you're going. You can also completely, if you just want to just dive in and not think about those numbers on the screen, you can completely get rid of them that way too. So as you're going, you'll see the graphics are just, they're super clear, and it makes you feel like you're there. So as we're going, we're on this dirt road. And what's fun with iFit is they have that auto follow feature. So whether you're in that Google Map feature or whether you're in a class like this, the bike will automatically adjust the resistance and the incline and decline as you're going. So based on like previous classes, it'll kind of gauge how well you did with that. So as you're going, I already have that on, so the bike is pivoting up and down, ready to match the terrain that's already that's pre-programmed into the class. And so it's gonna match it when you go. So when this trainer starts going up a hill, the bike's gonna start going up. And when he says, all right, let's add on resistance, it'll add it on for you. You can bypass it anytime, but I feel like it's just really fun because that way you don't have to think about, oh, I have to add on that resistance. And sometimes I feel like that can get a little bit daunting, especially if you're getting tired, where it's just like, all right, the bike's gonna do it anyways, and I'm gonna be challenged. And we really like that these speakers, they point right at you, so you don't have to worry about positioning the bike against a wall to either get the sound to reflect out or worrying about it just projecting out to a room. So that gives you just a little bit of idea of what iFit's like. It comes free for that first 30 days, as I mentioned, so you can test it out and see how you like it. And then the fan here is, I like it. We normally don't see fans mounted on exercise bikes, so I feel like it's a really thoughtful addition. I'll let you hear it. It does make some noise. So this is the lowest setting. And this is the highest setting. So it does make a little bit of noise, but that airflow, when I have the screen positioned right at me when I'm on the bike. I can feel it on my neck and my face, so it just keeps me nice and cool, and it just generates a really nice breeze. It is a little bit, since they now have the front, these front speakers have been added, did notice that the fan is a little bit smaller than on the previous model, the 2021 model. So the air output is just like maybe a little bit less powerful, but this fan is still really effective, so really appreciate that. Now let's check out how the S22i performs. But first, if you find this video to be helpful, give it a like and subscribe to our channel. We create these videos for you guys so you can make those informed buying decisions. We also do giveaways where we partner with certain brands to give away products, and we announce those here. So be sure to subscribe so you can check back for those. So diving in, I am clipped in with those SPD clips on the hybrid pedals. And right now I'm just on resistance level 1. And with that magnetic resistance, it's nice and quiet. It's really quiet on that flywheel. And with that belt drivetrain. So as I go through, change that resistance to level 13. It still remains really quiet. And it'll stay really quiet even as I'm up to that resistance level 24. So if I back this down, let's go resistance level 11. And then now I'm going to incline it up to that 10% grade. So as you see, it just pivots that frame up. And then here it is, inclined to 20%. So you can just hear a little bit from that motor that's attached in the back. And now we'll go back to that flat road. And then let's go down to the full decline. So here it is all the way down. So something to mention, so go back to that flat road. When I'm just using the resistance, I go up to that full 24 or 24th level, which is the highest. Here it is right here. I can sit and pedal. Not super fast, because it does feel there's a good amount of tension, but just something to note. But when I add on some incline, let's go up to 10%. As the bike's pivoting up, you get added resistance, so it's like you're riding up a hill. So with this, I gotta get up out of the saddle. The same as if I add it all the way up to that 20%, just full resistance, it gets even harder. So as the bike pivots, you get even more resistance. So if I back it down to level 13, be back in the saddle, flat grade. 13 feels pretty nice. Feels like I can sustain this. But as I add on, even just to 8% incline, it's gonna feel heavier. Kept that resistance the same. The opposite happens when I go into the decline. So if I go to negative 8% decline, it's gonna feel lighter. It's gonna feel like I'm riding down a hill. So as I was mentioning in the construction section, you get a lot of, even though there's just 24 levels of resistance, where other bikes like the Bowflex VeloCore and also the Peloton Bike Plus, they have 100 levels of resistance to choose from. This one just has 24 levels, but with that incline and decline option, you can really tailor it. One thing to note is that we find when bikes have large screens attached, there can be a little bit of movement on the screen. This one we feel like has definitely been improved from the previous model. The previous model did have a good amount of wobble in the screen, especially when you really got going and got riding out of the saddle. With this one, you can control it a bit more, so with correct positioning and keeping my upper body nice and still, that screen stays nice and still. If I get a little bit more shifting side to side, if I have a low resistance, like for me, level 7's pretty low, I'm on a flat grade. If I stand up out of the saddle and get a little bit bouncy, I can control this too with my positioning. So just know that you may get a little bit of movement, but typically when you adjust to a correct position, so keeping your trunk nice and steady, nice light grip on the handlebars, you can really minimize, if not completely eliminate, that screen shake. So just something to be aware of. So a few things to keep in mind on the S22i is that this seat has been updated from the previous model, but we still find it to be pretty stiff. It can be swapped out, however, for a little bit more comfortable seat. And also when you're riding, that 22-inch touchscreen can shake slightly, especially if you kind of move your upper body a little bit, but with correct positioning on the bike, it should be pretty minimal. We really like this large 22-inch touchscreen. It's super adjustable. It pivots side to side and it tilts up and down, so you can get a perfect angle. And also you can use it, tilt it completely to the side to be able to train off the bike. So it's great for those bike boot camp classes, or if you just want to take like a yoga or strength class. Next to it, you can put your mat down with your weights, and it's really great to be able to get a lot of different training options that way. Plus with iFit, it comes free for the first month. And iFit just gives you that overall really interactive experience on and off the bike. There's thousands of workout classes, so you have lots of options when using iFit as a training program. A few other things that we really like is that this bike has an attached motor. It's really quiet, but it allows the bike to incline and decline as you're riding it. Plus, overall, the S22i is really quiet. It uses that practically silent magnetic resistance, and it's super adjustable. You have adjustability on the front of the handles and then also within the touchscreen, so you can find that perfect resistance and incline or decline level that works for you and be able to get a lot of variability with your training that way. We also really like that it now comes with these hybrid pedals, so you can clip in with your SBD cleats, or you can just use regular athletic shoes. So it really accommodates more riders that way. And then also, we really like that they included the fan mounted into the console because it gives you that nice cool breeze, because spin classes, you definitely get really sweaty. So that breeze really feels nice from that fan, and we typically don't see fans on exercise bikes, so it's just a really nice touch. So thanks for watching our review of the NordicTrack S22i Studio Bike. If you want to learn more about this bike, we have a full written review at treadmillreviewguru.com. You can read all about the full details of the bike there. And you can check the link below for the current price. And if you like this video and find it helpful, give it a like and subscribe to our channel. We create these videos for you guys so you can make informed buying decisions. I'm Sydney with Treadmill Review Guru. I'll see you next time.